So what are some of the most common mistakes that SMEs like me probably and other professionals make when sending and receiving overseas payments?
I think the two common mistakes that we see time and time again are for the established businesses where they would have started out years ago, the business has grown. They usually started out in those days with a relationship with a clearing bank, and they're still with a clearing bank. And the issue there is banks have big overheads. And like all businesses, they've got to take the money in to cover those overheads, plus a little bit more to pay their shareholders a dividend and pay their staff and pay their taxes and be a viable business. The only way they can do that is by charging clients. So sometimes you see, we often see whether it's British banks or European or American banks, they've all got the same business model, huge overheads. They've got to recoup it through fees, charges, and this is the bit that they don't tell you about and is very difficult to work out for most clients, the margin on the exchange rate transfer. British businesses, if you're using a bank for your foreign exchange transactions, you'd be easily leaving 2 to 3% on the table. If you're an American business dealing with the big 5 American banks, you'd be easily leaving 5% on the table, because they only charge 3.5% margin compared to the bank's 5 or 7 or the ridiculous margins that the Western Unions and the PayPals charge.
And they're transparent about it.
They're very transparent about it because it's a selling point for them. Great, we're much cheaper than the banks, and they are, to be fair to them. So if you're an American business, using Stripe is much more sensible than using the banks. But why stop there? There are still better options out there.